Hello chess friends, so welcome back to the game 2 from the match between Grischuk and Nepomniachtchi played on FIDE Grand Prix in Moscow. This is the game 2 and in the game 1 they finished with a draw. So right now Nepomniachtchi playing with the white pieces and Grischuk is playing with the black pieces. So Nepomniachtchi opened the game with e4. Grischuk play e5. After knight f3 and knight c6, bishop to b5, we have the Rxe piece on the board. So main line says that the a6 is the move for black, but he didn't play that. He continued this game with the knight f6. After that we have a castle, and right now the pawn on e4 is hanging. So knight capture on e4, but the rook is very active after that. So Nepomniachtchi moved the rook from f1 to e1, attacking the knight and also attacking the pawn on e5. So knight to d6 was played, and after that we have moved knight from f3 to e5, completely opening e-file, and the rook on e1 becomes very active. So black needs to do something with that, so he played bishop to e7, put the bishop in front of the king, and after that we can recognize that the bishop on the b5 is under attack from the knight from the square d6, and he moved the bishop from b5 to f1. So he's very safe on the f1, but he's not much useful. We have knight capture on e5. After that, a rook capture on e5, and black makes the castle. So they both finish with the castling. It is time to develop all pieces and bring them into the game. So white opened the d pawn and push d4. We have bishop to f6 attacking the rook, and the rook goes back to square e2. After that, black wants to develop bishop from square c8 using the diagonal c8 to h3, and because of that he moves the knight from the d6 and play knight on c4. After that, Nepomniachtchi kick out the knight from c4 and play b3. So this knight is under attack and knight goes to b6. After that, white play a4, threat with a5 and attack the knight once again. So black played a5, and we have knight to c3, developing knight on a very good square. So he probably wants to go on e4, which is a very good square for that knight. So black played d6 and knight e4. So right now white can trade the knight from e4 for a bishop on f6, but Grischuk moved the bishop back on e7. And after that we have queen to e1. So it's a really big pressure right now on the e-file, because queen and the rook are standing on the e-file, which is the only open file on the board. So knight d5 was played, and idea of the knight d5 is to support e7 bishop. And here Nepomniachtchi played one very interesting move. So he moves the knight from the square e4 back to the square c3, opening e-file and offer knights for trade. So black capture on e3, but the queen did not capture on a c3 because he wants to capture the bishop on e7. We have knight goes back on a d5, very good square for that knight. So rook is under attack right now, and he can choose between two squares. So he can go on e4 or on e2. Let's see the line. If he goes on e4, then he can be easily attacked from the bishop on the square f5, and that will attacks the bishop, attacks the rook, sorry, and that the rook needs to go back on e2 right now. Because of that line, he immediately moves the rook on e2, and we have bishop to g4, once again attacking the rook, and white play f3, kick out the bishop, and bishop goes to f5. After that, queen to d2, and we have rook to e8, offering rook for trade. So it is time to develop the bishop from the square c1, and white play bishop to b2. Probably his idea right now is to push c4, and after that when he kicks the knight from the d5, he can go with the d5, which will completely open the dark diagonal from a1 to h8. And after that, Grischuk traded the rooks, so he captured on e2 and then queen capture. We have queen to e8. Once again, Grischuk wants to trade pieces and reduce the pressure. And Nepomniachtchi moved the rook from a1 to e1, supporting the queen on the e2 square. And in this position, draw was agreed. But let's try to see what we can expect in the future if they continue this game. For example, black can choose between the lines queen capture on e2, or he can support the king, support the queen with the king on the square f8, or he can move the queen from the square e8. For example, if he capture on e2, then white is forced to capture with the rook because c2 pawn is hanging. Rook capture, and then black will probably continue with it, reducing material, king to f8, try to move rook on e8, offer rooks for trade, and that is a equal position. So all other lines are not very good for black, so that the best for him to continue this game is to capture on e2, but they didn't finish this game on that way, so they agree for draw, and that was the game 2. So in the next game they will play with the rapid time control, so we will cover that in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next game analysis. Bye bye.